Part 4. This is after Steamboat pins Jericho at Extreme Rules after a chaotic tag team match. And Steamboat on the next night on Raw wants to make peace. It's like, okay, this is the end of this drive for respect. Let's just make peace. It's not even a matter of who respects who. Let's just make peace. And Jericho comes out. I mean, you believe that after what happened at the pay-per-view, he would say, okay, you did pin me. I respect you now. Let's make peace. That's not what happens. Oh no. He delivers the biggest blow yet to Steamboat. And he just terrifies Steamboat out of his skins with this. Because he stands there and says, you're about to get the shock of your life and the biggest challenge you've ever faced. And you're definitely not able to face this challenge. And then Steamboat is attacked by SmackDown wrestlers. He's attacked by SmackDown wrestlers led by CM Punk. CM Punk is the leader of these SmackDown wrestlers. That's the only thing important about these SmackDown wrestlers. Doesn't matter who else they are. They're all heels, obviously. And CM Punk is leading them. They beat the hell out of Richie Steamboat. And Jericho is just... He announces he's let the SmackDown Cavalry enter this Raw show. And the fans are just like, you know, this is the WWE champion. Jericho is the WWE champion, and he is aligned himself with these SmackDown wrestlers. So Jericho is trying to get himself off Raw. He's trying to get Steamboat off Raw. Now he's just trying to run Raw into the ground. Or, you know, that's just the next level Jericho will go to. And then we have a chaotic night in which Steamboat is like calling up the SmackDown general manager, who I imagine under this storyline would be Vicky Guerrero, a heel general manager who would allow her superstars to invade another show. And he's trying to find out, you know, why are they here? Control your superstars, do something about this. And Vicky Guerrero will not oblige because she wants to be dominant and all that. So Steamboat has a decision to make. He decides to elect a representative that is loyal to him to go up against CM Punk. And they got Jericho and the SmackDown Superstars agreed to this. They agreed to meet his representative, and Steamboat picks Kofi Kingston to be his representative against CM Punk. So that's the main event of this Raw: CM Punk against Kofi Kingston. And you know, there's no finish to this match because the SmackDown Superstars interfere. There's no contest finish. It ends in a brawl between Kofi Kingston and some other face Raw Superstars will come out, but the SmackDown Superstars will get the upper hand. They will emerge as the dominant force here. The show will close with them all with their hands raised in jubilation and triumph. And then Steamboat realizes these guys aren't going to play by the rules. They agreed to have a one-on-one match, but then they went back on their promise. They're not going to play by the rules. And that means Steamboat just has to realise who he's dealing with. Next week on Raw, what does Steamboat do in retaliation? Okay, before we get to the next week on Raw, we go to that week on SmackDown. We go to that week on SmackDown where we see an out-of-arena promo. It's kind of out of the arena. In the arena, it's actually not clear because Steamboat is meeting with none other than The Undertaker. Because Steamboat considers, and rightly so, that The Undertaker is above Raw and SmackDown and that kind of war there. That kind of conflict. And he goes to The Undertaker for advice. And The Undertaker, you only hear his voice. Like, Steamboat is in a dark room, so it's not clear if he's in the arena or not. He's in a dark room, looking for The Undertaker's guidance. The Undertaker tells him what Piper told him before. You know, you have to stand up for yourself. You have a real challenge now. SmackDown Superstars are invading your show. You have to do something about this. If you cannot rise to the challenge, then your show deserves to be run into the ground. Undertaker says words to that effect. And Steamboat leaves, you know. It still doesn't look like Steamboat can handle this. This is his biggest challenge yet. Can he handle this? Can he fight this SmackDown threat? Especially when his own WWE champion is leading the SmackDown threat. You know, that's something Steamboat has to deal with. So then we get to the actual Raw show, and Steamboat has decided to try and keep the SmackDown Superstars out with security around the arena. Now Piper is still with him, and Piper very much disapproves of this approach. He disapproves of this approach because he thinks that Steamboat should be facing the SmackDown Superstars head on, not trying to keep them out of the arena. So that is Piper's problem. And Steamboat says, look, the SmackDown Superstars are not here. We're going to have Jericho against Kofi Kingston tonight. And we're going to have a good show. The SmackDown Superstars will not get in. They will not interfere with this. Piper just does not agree with this. But the show goes on. We get to the main event. Chris Jericho versus Kofi Kingston. And then the SmackDown Superstars, we don't know how they got in, but they did get in. And they interfere. And once again, we have a no contest finish. So once again, Steamboat fails in maintaining order on his show. And after this match, this no contest has happened and Kingston is just laid out on the ground, Jericho announces that Steamboat is a completely ineffective general manager. He might as well make the match for the Bash pay-per-view, and that he will defend the WWE Championship against a SmackDown superstar. That's what he will do. So that way, either he retains the championship for himself, or SmackDown superstar takes Raw's championship away from the show. So Steamboat doesn't win one way or another. And what's he going to do? Is he going to fight me on this? He's never fought me on anything before. I get to make this match. It's Chris Jericho against CM Punk at the Bash. Piper confronts Jericho and the SmackDown Superstars, and he said, "You're full of bullshit. I'm going to face all of you next week. I'm going to go up against all of you." You know, he's completely reckless, but he says he's going to do this. Jericho and the other SmackDown Superstars just laugh at him. You know, you're going to face all of us. You're an old man. You're going to face all of us. But Piper has an ulterior motive. He's reckless. He knows he's going into the lion's den. But if Steamboat will just allow that to happen, then Steamboat might realize that, you know, something's wrong. That something is wrong here. And that's what Steamboat does do. Steamboat, the next week of Raw, the last week before the Bash, the last Raw before the Bash, Steamboat is to Piper. He's trying to talk him out of it. He's like, "What are you doing? This is completely stupid. This is completely reckless. You're going to get hurt. You're going to get severely hurt if you do this. Why are you doing this? You know this is going to happen." Piper just refuses to listen to Steamboat because he wants Steamboat to realize his passiveness, his refusal to face this confrontation. This is what's going to happen. Piper is going to get himself severely injured, and Steamboat will not. And Steamboat could do something about it, but he's just too much of a coward to do something about it. And that's Piper's goal, to make Steamboat realize. And that is what happens. That is what happens. Piper goes into this exhibition match against Jericho and all these SmackDown superstars, and he gets his ass kicked. He completely gets destroyed. He gets severely injured, and Steamboat then, of course, realizes that, okay, if I don't do something, this is what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen. And so he comes out and says, "Jericho, I'm going to let you defend the championship against CM Punk at the Bash pay-per-view, but I'm putting my guy into the match. I'm putting Kofi Kingston into the match and making it a triple threat." So that's the match for the Bash, which is next up in this. Kofi Kingston versus CM Punk versus Chris Jericho for the WWE Championship. And when that match happens at the Bash, the finish is Kofi has the match won against CM Punk. He's hit him with the Trouble in Paradise. He's about to go for the cover. It's a no disqualification match, and The Miz has been interfering, so The Miz stays in the public light against kind of like Jericho's second in command kind of thing. That's what The Miz is. This is a no DQ triple threat match. The Miz has been interfering, but Kofi's about to win. He hits the Trouble in Paradise on CM Punk. He's about to go for the cover. Jericho whacks him, completely just decimates him with the WWE Championship belt, and pins Punk himself. So Jericho retains in that dirty fashion. And after seeing Steamboat pin Jericho at the last pay-per-view, now we just see Jericho surviving again. This is horrible. This is awful. And that's another month down. I have the complete finish now, so I think this will take one more video, I think. Maybe two, but I think I can do this in one more video. So we're going to get to part 5 right now. I want to finish this because I have everything wrapped out, everything 100% confirmed. So I'm going to go right to the next video, and I'll see you there. Bye-bye.